But when I saw the trailer for Project Hail Mary, it was one of those movies that just caught my attention. It felt different. But can it live up to that and be something that just you go away from think it's amazing? Or will it just be meh, early year flop? Well, I'm going to give you a non-spoiler review. We'll start with the plot. Now, oh my goodness, like, so it's an amnesia storyline because suddenly he wakes up in a spaceship and guess what? Yeah, he's like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of space. Why am I in the middle of space? Well, they show you lots of flashbacks, nothing that wasn't seen in the trailer. I mean, literally, middle school teacher who is vastly overqualified for his job, but is like, you're Earth's best hope at restarting the sun. And no, this is not as bad as the core. In fact, it's not bad at all. We don't have dodgy science here. Although the sun is still working, I can assure you, don't panic. But we've got the unlikely hero storyline. Now, Ryan Gosling is playing Ryan Gosling in this, even though the character written in the book was not called Ryan Gosling. But when you actually look at the description in the book, it's basically describing Ryan Gosling. And his movies are becoming a safe bet now. We don't want to get into too complacent a territory. He's got a Star Wars film next year, allegedly, so let's see how that goes. But the main thing here is the relationship between the alien that Ryan Gosling, playing Ryan Gosling, comes along and he gives the name of Rocky. I mean, and Rocky's in exactly the same position as Ryan Gosling's character because Rocky's got to restart his son, so they've got to figure this out together, otherwise both of them are absolutely doomed when it comes to saving their civilization. Which is lovely that they have that connection as well as the nice connection that they have anyway. And they do a brilliant job with the way these characters interact. You have the heartfelt moments, you have sort of like the intrigue when they're trying to work out the language and everything. I saw somebody describe it, a friend of mine, as like Star Trek-esque in terms of the way they're trying to do the language. Totally on board with that after having watched it. So there's nice moments, moments of intrigue, moments of frustration, moments of, well, not frustrations with Rocky, because Rocky's great, but just frustration with the barrier between them, what's going on. And he's trying to figure these things out. He's a savior, and it's like, I've forgotten what's going on. But then we come on to the cinematography, because, okay, the score does the job, gets everything across, you know, the intrigue, the nice moments, the, oh my God, like more anxiety-ridden moments. But really, the way that they captured this film, and this film was a Lord and Miller film, which generally, yes, you do have the comedic moments, and sometimes maybe it's a bit forced, but generally, it's not like laugh out loud comedy, but it is funny. The funny moments are funny. That's all good. But the way they capture the cinematography here, like, I feel like the lighting is it's very professional, right? Don't get me wrong, but it feels grittier. It's more like a noughties or a late 90s movie in the way that they shot it, because it's not, I mean, CGI hasn't been, well, no, CGI is really good, but the way they've shot CGI recently with a lot of stuff hasn't been as well done, in my opinion. That's just my view. I'm not going on about retro films being better, etc. I just think there are some few movies who've done it really well, and a lot haven't done it as well as, say, 10, 20 years ago. But this one, I mean, the people doing the cinema, you know, responsible for the cinematography had this on point. This movie, it looks at points like really gritty and done professionally by a YouTuber, I'd say, but it looks professional, but not in a way that's done by Hollywood, which makes it stand out. And to be honest, this is a very minimalist film. Like, the vast majority of the time is spent in the spaceship. The lighting and everything like that, it suits that sort of vibe. So you don't think you're watching a B movie, but you think you're watching something a bit more, it's kind of got to be more real and grounded because of the minimalist vibe of the environment that you're in. You've got to really use it. And they really did. But a criticism I'd have of it is that I don't feel that some of the sort of discoveries were earned. And I spoke to someone who read the book. I struggle to retain focus when it comes to reading fiction and when it comes to reading things longer than 2 or 3 sentences. I have to listen to stuff because of conditions that I've got. Like, I can read, but longer than 2 or 3 sentences, I don't take the information in. So I've never really been able to read fiction. But they could have told me that there were moments in it where you wouldn't know this if you hadn't read the book like I hadn't. But I didn't realise that it took him ages in the book to look out into space and to figure it out. See, it's not like a spoiler here because it's like, oh, where am I? Space. That's it. And there are other moments in the movies where they're trying to investigate things, find things out, which you get a first person perspective in the book and you hear sort of, what am I thinking? What process am I going through? And you don't get that in the movie as much. I mean, he does write some journals, you know, because he's taking information out about Rocky, blah, 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 but it's not quite as detailed. Now, some of that is the medium. That can't be helped and it worked fine. You know, that's what they have to do. It's a movie. If you don't want that, read a book, don't, you know, if you can read a book, don't watch a movie. However, at 2 hours 40, there were some things in there I would have shaved off where I was like, we didn't need this. This is a long film. And some things where I'm like, The characters could have earned this more, and we could have got more insight with this, and so more earned, more insight. So then it could have gone to 2 hours 40 really, or 2 hours 30. So it's a bit of a paradox, but I still would have shaved the movie down a bit. I thought it was a bit long. And I think when you've got these big franchises where people are sort of expecting this and there's lots of detail to go through, you can get away with it. But with movies like this, I think you have to shave it down to like 2 hours, 2 hours 10, something like that, because it's very tricky to pull off that balance of keeping people engaged for that long. Now, I didn't do a bad job, don't get me wrong. Like, I was entertained throughout the whole thing, but I just felt sometimes the pacing was a little bit off in this. But you know, I got what I paid for. I had a good time. Was it a genuine, like, was it a diamond in the rough?
A diamond in the rough.
Nearly. It was really good. I enjoyed it, and I'd recommend anyone watching it, you know, but you could do it in the cinema. You could do it on Blu-ray. Did you think it was the diamond in the rough? Did you perhaps think, this was a massive letdown? I'm a big fan of the book, and it didn't do what the book said. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Your support is appreciated, and you can get more content from this channel that way. And until next time, I'll see you later.